You guys see Donald Trump has been talking up his big epic trade deal coming up? He's been, for days now, he's been talking about how after like a month of threatening to arrive at a trade deal that he could make at any time, he could make hundreds of trade deals. It's with the United Kingdom, the easiest country in the world to make a trade deal with.
President Trump says a major trade announcement with a big and highly respected country is coming in just a few hours.
I don't know about that on either case.
And it will reportedly be with the UK. Anthony Esposito is the founder and CEO of Island Capital Investment.
Don't we literally have a trade surplus with Britain anyway? Like, of all the countries in the world, for him to, like, all this buildup, we're the big deal makers, we can make a deal with any country we want, all these tariffs are to, like, open up negotiations, and then after a month, we finally announce one, and it's with the United Kingdom, a country that we already have a trade surplus with, that again, we are such close allies with. The idea that this was something you needed to prompt with tariffs is ludicrous. Also, isn't it not even getting rid of the flat 10% tariff? Like, it's not even getting rid of the underlying 10%. The UK and US have agreed to a breakthrough trade deal that will slash some of Donald Trump's tariffs on cars, aluminum, and steel, which the Prime Minister said would save thousands of jobs. Keir Starmer said it was a fantastic, historic day. I hope reform wins. I hate Keir Starmer more than I hate Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. I hope you all know that. I hope reform wins. I don't fucking care. F you guys. His base will think the UK is still part of mainland Europe. They'll think the EU folded. Yeah, probably. So wait, what was even the deal? So the United States places tariffs on cars, aluminum, and steel for literally no reason. And now they've engaged in a breakthrough deal that has removed those tariffs. In exchange for what? So Trump's tariffs on the UK are going down. So what are we getting? The reality is that US tariffs on UK exports remain significantly higher than they were at the start of the year. What is this? What's the deal? What are we getting? The US gets preferential treatment on pharmaceuticals, which are 11% of the UK's exports. What does that mean? Preferential treatment? The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. It actually would have been less embarrassing if our first breakthrough trade deal was with a country like Zimbabwe. If Trump was like really hyping up a big announcement coming through, and then it's like photos of him at the Oval Office shaking hands with the junta leader of Burkina Faso, being like, Burkina Faso has generously agreed that in exchange for dropping the reciprocal tariffs in their country, they will allow us preferential access to their uranium mines. And then like they're like shaking hands, and you know, that would like unironically be less embarrassing. Yeah, finally we're being given preferential access to their tomato concentrate. So it's not even complete or finalized. Yeah, the fact that they're announcing this before the details of the trade deal are even through is an indication that the White House is desperate for a political win. You should read this as a sign of desperation from both sides. Keir Starmer is desperate to get in good with Trump and also to signal to the ailing United Kingdom that he's doing something to fix their woes. And the Trump administration is desperate to make it look as though they're actually doing something diplomatic. When in reality, and we know this for a fact, after the tariffs went out, a bunch of countries tried to contact the White House, and the White House just didn't get back to them. Because the point was never actually opening up the door to deal making. The point was to artificially create a recession, which they're certainly working towards. It came as a surprise to many when Britain refused to budge on its digital services tax. Huh. Dude, nothing changed. This is only going to get Brits to hate him more. I mean, they should hate him. Is it wrong for me to believe that it would have been better for Keir Starmer to have lost? Like, I'm now taking the 2020 Biden should have lost a Trump position, where if the Tories just remained in power for longer, you could have built like a supercharged Labour comeback. But nothing has changed under the Labour Party. Like, has any trend established by the Tories changed under the Labour Party? If the answer is yes, don't say it. I'm trying to prove a point here. Like, the NHS is still getting sold off. Everyone's still getting poorer. The Labour Party won, and they were immediately like, you know, actually, we agree with the Tories on the transes. Like, what was the point? They've actually done goodish on healthcare. Now, what did I say? What did I say about not contradicting me? Mods? Break out the oubliette. They met their healthcare targets 5 months ahead of schedule. Mods! Mods! Preferential treatment on pharma. Ridiculous.
And he joins me now. Anthony, good morning to you. I mean, this could be a big deal, and why not start with the UK? We know that the president would love to see more U.S. cars on UK roads. So what can we expect at 10 a.m. Eastern time when the president makes this announcement?
I think we can expect a kind of a setup or structure of a trade deal, maybe not the specifics inked. I think it's a great place to start, right? The UK is a very important global strategic partner for us, not only in trade, but politically and as far as military action. So to start with the UK makes a total sense. We do have a somewhat of a trade surplus with the UK, so it might even be a little bit of an easier conversation as far
Jesus fucking Christ.
as goods go. Definitely lead into a good setup for additional conversations with the EU, with China, with India, Vietnam, and down the list. But a great place to start for President.
Like even on Fox News, they're like, yeah, like this was like the easiest country to make a deal with, and also we have a trade surplus with them anyway. So the whole like narrative about how this is correcting a trade imbalance kind of doesn't work here. And also like, but like maybe this will help set us up for some negotiations with the really big ones down the line, like Vietnam. You know, like maybe this will give us the confidence that we need going into some of the real rough hitters out there. Countries that are antagonistic towards us, that didn't have pre-existing trade deals, that haven't been historically compliant to Western business investment. You know, like Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan, countries like that. Jesus Christ, man. Get me out of this fucking country.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was wondering that if this deal with the UK, which is the expected announcement that the president is going to make, is what ends up happening, do you think that we'll see more deals in rapid succession, or are we going to see a big gap?
I'm not satisfied with this one deal. We're both paid to pretend that this is impressive, but we're both like obviously not being given much to work with here. Are there like more deals down the line? Anything? No? It's just this one and we don't even have the details yet, and we won't for weeks? Okay.
Of time. What do you think about that?
I think we'll be somewhere in between. I don't know that we'll see rapid secession, but we're going to see deals kind of come over the coming months, in my opinion. But this will lay the groundwork to get people more in line and get those deals inked. I don't know if they're going to come immediate, but they will start to flow through in a more...
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here, man? Jesus Christ, man. It's tragic. 10 years from now, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be like, did you know? To the young people, to the Gen Alphas, to the Gen Betas in chat, did you guys know America actually used to be a superpower?
Or, in a more kind of tempered pace.
And we can expect the markets to react positively to this.
Yeah, the markets are already, I mean, S&P futures are up 1% overnight. That's capping off almost an 18% rally from the April low. That's a good thing. I personally...
What's that stupid statue in the back? This guy like filled out his Zoom background with like Etsy or like, you know, drop shipped America bull market, stock market shit. You got the bull beating the bear here. You got the ugly ass steel American flag. You got the gigantic gun safe, yeah.
Feel as though this is kind of priced in at this point, unless there's something, you know, a tail of an outsized announcement. So we're seeing a 1% pop overnight. We'll see when the cash markets open if they can hold that gain. But overall, a net positive.
Well, China is the big one, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and
nothing is ever priced in. Why? Yeah. Why do people say anything is ever priced in when it's obvious that nothing has ever been priced in ever in all of history? It's all just a betting market. Everything is just gambling. Why would you ever assume that anyone has already factored in a future event in the like estimated price or value of a share? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The market is still acting like the tariffs don't exist. That is true. A bunch of you know, like JP Morgan have said that the market is acting as though the tariffs haven't even happened. The market, like the sinking of the market was just in response to the bad news. The actual event of the tariffs, the consequences of the tariffs, those haven't been priced in yet. No one prices in anything because everyone waits to the last second to try to make as much money as they can. Also, people are f***ing stupid.
Trade Rep Jameson Greer are going to be meeting with their Chinese counterparts in a couple days. So where do you think things go with that conversation?
I think that's a larger conversation. I think they will move towards a resolution, and I believe.
Yeah. Apparently, the deal between the U.S. and U.K. was rushed. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's a huge sign of desperation on both sides. The markets did this in 1929, just before the crash. There were big signs that things were going to go to shit in the indexes, but the big name investors ignored it and got reamed. Yep. Same as it ever was, right? Same as it ever was. Yeah, that's what it means. Bull market beating bear market. Why do they all wear the blue suit and red tie? Because they're just following what the people around them do. Nobody really has an understanding of like men's tailoring anymore. Nobody really has like opinions on it or a cultivated wardrobe or anything. So they're just sort of, what's a bear market? Opposite of a bull market. This was tweeted by Trump, or Truth Socialed by Trump. United Kingdom trade deal. Unprecedented access to UK market. We have the same access to the UK market. Actually worse access than we did before the tariffs. Also, apparently the United States actually failed to secure a couple of concessions from the UK. Like that digital services tax. I don't know. It looks so cheap. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.